Now that it's April 2023, I figured it's time to make an update video. In this video, I let you know what I've been doing. These update videos allow me to keep track of what I'm doing and hear about what you've been doing. Let me know in the comments what you have been doing. If you are new to the channel, my name is Mason Ellis and I'm a C5 through C7 quadriplegic. I make videos to help you live life just like you would have able-bodied. If you enjoy this video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future videos. Firstly, I will be doing an Ask Me Anything video in a few weeks, so ask me your questions in the comments. I updated the description of my videos to include a lot of useful information, so check it out. If you didn't know, I now have a website called Living Able Bodied. I'm still working on getting it set up, but take a look at it. I do have shirts, sweatshirts, and stickers available on my website, and the link to my website and shop are in the description. I decided I'm going to start doing these update videos every 3 months, so at the ends of March, June, September, and December. I saw Hank Ruff, who is a young country music artist, perform, and one of his songs that I like is called Whiskey Always Wins. I talked to his dad and he was inspired by my story, and I believe they are from around my area. I am currently up over 250% on Meta stock, which is Facebook, and I originally bought Meta stock back in February of 2022, and then it kept going down, so I kept buying to lower my dollar cost average. I've been investing in the stock market since probably late 2018 after reading the book I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. Most people think the stock market is like gambling, but it's really not if you know how to invest and what to look for in companies. Something I find interesting is the most money you can lose in the stock market is 100%. That is, as long as you don't do margins, but 100% is the most amount that you can lose, but there's no limit of the amount of money you can gain. I played roulette for the first time at a casino, and if you don't know what roulette is, it's a spinning wheel that has colored numbers on it. Basically, there's a ball and you bet on where the ball will land. The simplest way to bet is by betting it will land on red or black or odd or even. I was betting the minimum amount that you can bet, which was $5 per bet, and I kept betting on black. Each time I would lose, I would double my previous bet, and each time I would win, I would bet $5. By doing this, you're basically guaranteed to get your money back. The main thing is that you start out with enough money to be able to double your bet if you keep losing, because I lost like 7 times in a row because the ball kept landing on red like 7 times, and I had to put more money in. I went to a shoot where they had targets at different distances and even had a target at 1 mile. Someone I know personally was there shooting the 1 mile target with a Barrett 50 caliber. I thought it was awesome because I had never seen a Barrett 50 caliber be shot, and it had a muzzle brake on it, and you could really feel whenever it went off. I became sick and felt really bad. I wound up going to the doctor and they tested me for flu, COVID, and RSV, but they all came back negative. I was feeling really nauseous and extremely tired, weak, and actually threw up. This was the first time I threw up since becoming a quadriplegic over 9 years ago, and I was wondering if I could even throw up anymore since it had been so long. So I'm not really sure what caused me to be sick, but a few days after I went to the doctor, I got to feeling better, and they prescribed me a medication to take if I needed it, but I didn't take it. One of my friends and I went to a Cody Johnson concert that had Dylan Carmichael and Justin Moore as the openers, and we had already seen Cody Johnson in concert in November of 2022, and I saw Justin Moore in concert in June of 2021, but I got tickets because I wanted to see Dylan Carmichael. I originally found out about Dylan Carmichael on TikTok, and I really liked his song Sawin' Logs because it was really funny. A few weeks before the concert, I started following Dylan Carmichael on other social media besides TikTok, and I noticed that after the shows he would make an announcement on social media that he would be doing a meet and greet at a certain location at whatever venue he was at. So after he got done singing, I kept an eye on social media to see if he would be doing a meet and greet, which I was hoping he would, and sure enough he was going to. So I told my friend and we went down there, but before we went, we told somebody that was sitting beside us that we didn't know what we were doing, and that person gave my friend like a can of Zen, which, if you don't know what that is, it's like nicotine pouch things, and he gave my friend the can to have Dylan Carmichael sign. So we go to the meet and greet location a little bit before it's supposed to start, just because, well, we assumed, there would be a lot of people down there, but surprisingly there wasn't, so it was a lot more personable. But my friend got that Zen can signed by Dylan Carmichael, and then my friend bought him a beer, and Dylan Carmichael's security guy was with him, and when my friend gave the security guy the beer to give to Dylan Carmichael, a little bit later he told me and my friend to stick around there, and he would be back with a VIP bracelet thing to allow us to go and see the Cody Johnson perform down there on the floor. So we waited around, and a little bit later they came up the elevator and told us to get in. So we went in the elevator, and they took us down and went down on the floor, which was freaking awesome. So we got to see him perform down on the stage for no additional cost. After we were down on the floor for a little while watching Cody Johnson perform, I remembered about that Zen can getting signed by Dylan Carmichael, and that guy that gave it to him whenever we left. And I was thinking, that guy's probably still waiting on us to come back. That guy that we were sitting by before we went down to the meet and greet seemed like a really good guy, but I just thought it was funny that he was still probably waiting on us to come back, and then he saw us down there on the floor. But it was a really cool experience. But I got to meet Dylan Carmichael and told him that I found out about him on TikTok, and told him that I like sawing logs and stuff, and I think he asked about my injury, and I was telling him my story and stuff, so he thought that was really cool, and I think that might have been one reason he wanted us to come down on the floor. These rubberized wristbands or bracelets that I have on my wrist, I actually use them to allow me to do things, and one of them is a Country Boys Can Survive bracelet, and my friends made Country Boys Can Survive shirts whenever me and my friend were in the wreck, whenever I got paralyzed, to raise money for us to pay for medical bills and stuff. And one of my friends made these Country Boys Can Survive bracelets, and whenever I woke up in the hospital, I had this Country Boys Can Survive bracelet on, and I had the bracelet on every day since waking up in the hospital, or before then, but unfortunately it finally broke after like a little over 9 years. And normally they break, you know, within a month or two of putting them on, but I was surprised it lasted so long. But the reason it broke was because I got in my manual wheelchair and I was trying to stop, I believe, and I was putting my wrist on the push rim, and it was so thin because I had worn it for so long that it broke. But I got another one on my wrist now, and I found that the perfect amount on here for allowing me to do things is 3. And I do plan on making a video on how I use these, how these benefit me, because I believe they are my best and favorite, least expensive tool pretty much to allow me to do stuff. So I do plan on making a video on that. Since it's now warming up, one of the things we're gonna have to do is start mowing the yard, but we have a lot of trees around in our yard and a bunch of sticks need picked up before we can mow. So I was using my quad tool, the longer one, to pick up sticks. I picked up a few sticks and was going to the wood line to throw them, you know, into the woods, and my wheelchair got stuck, and I was trying to move forward and move back, but it got stuck and it pretty much buried itself. So my dad tried pushing me out, and unfortunately I had buried it a little too deep and he couldn't pull me out or push me out, either one. So he had to go get the four-wheeler and use the winch, and he hooked it on my wheelchair and winched me out. There was a NASCAR race at night, and I transferred into a recliner just for something different. I rarely do that, but I do like doing that just because it gets me in a different position. And, you know, I'm not in my wheelchair, but I had my mom take a picture of me sitting in the recliner, and it's really weird for me to look at because in this picture, you know, I don't look like I'm disabled or anything, and it's really weird to look at. It's hard to explain. I've uploaded 12 videos since my last update video. The YouTube short of me shooting the new shotgun that I got, Mossberg 20 gauge. My vision to help you improving my content, which is basically my plans for this channel. Cripplecast vlog. I visited somebody that lives near me that's also a quadriplegic, and I was on his podcast playing Call of Duty without finger function. I show you how I play Call of Duty with my quad hands on my keyboard, modifying my wheelchair, Highlight Arrow T. I got some different parts for my wheelchair to make it more independent for me to use. Preventing and treating UTIs after spinal cord injury. I show you 7 ways how to prevent and treat urinary tract infections. Best UTI remedy, comfort teas. I show you what I think, in my opinion, is the best UTI remedy. It doesn't include any drugs or anything. It's all natural. If you have issues with UTIs, I suggest checking this out. Quad Tools Mini Reacher review. I also have a 10% discount code in there that you can use, which is actually really helpful because Quad Tools is pretty expensive. Neck strengthening exercises using Q-tips without finger function. New shower / commode wheelchair. My initial reaction, I got a new shower or commode wheelchair. Grasping cuffs, handy accessories, as well as a 10% discount code. Living Able-Bodied Mason Ellis video, which is actually my new trailer for my YouTube channel, so check them out if you are interested in any of these. They will be linked down in the description below. Don't forget to let me know in the comments what you've been doing. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future videos. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you watch another one of my videos.